Yeah, habits can be really keeping us distracted from a lot of things that we believe is also good for us. It can be just a habit of, you can have habits that are not so healthy for the body, or not so healthy for the mind, or not so healthy for others. And habits can be very diverse. It can be also a habit to react in a certain way, towards others, for example. Like, or it can be a reaction of like having an angry reaction towards a situation, or a disappointment reaction. That's also what I call a habit. But well, today somebody asked about the habits, and or we were talking about the habits, and then I reminded that it's not always easy to get to change a habit. And well, matrix reimprinting is a tool that is very useful, and it has been surprising for me what it showed me on also on habits. That of course we can work on habits by putting a goal and decide to change a certain habit. But I can talk about my example of the coffee, which is a fantastic example that I have been in my life with. It's not just a habit, but it's of course also an addiction. But anyway, the habit to get up in the morning, take a cup of coffee, and in general drinking coffee, it was quite a habit from me. And the what was surprising to me is the first time I figured out that with matrix reimprinting you can work on that. And I was first introduction was that it brought me with, okay, let's say no, I go somewhere else first. That if we want to change the habit, and it's an addiction, then what is very important is to work at the same time of leaving the habit, is to work on why that habit was coming in the first place. So what is it that the body or the mind wants to feel or associates with to get this positive sensation that this habit gives? And it can be any kind. So in the case of, in my situation with coffee, what it doesn't seem to be so clear. People think it's just an addiction, but the addiction goes much deeper, because for me it's not an addiction to just the caffeine. It is an addiction to connect with this kind of a space that I feel or that I get when I take this coffee. And so to work on the breaking through of the habit, when I was just leaving the coffee, then what happened is that I can see very clearly that I'm taking other things into my diet that are the same unhealthy, or maybe not the same unhealthy, that are just a replacement of the thing I got with that coffee gave me. So one example is like I start to use much more spicy things in my food all of a sudden. And also after some days not taking the coffee, I start to have my alcohol barriers much lower. I put some barriers for myself. I rarely drink alcohol, but I noticed that when I leave the coffee, then I like to drink more alcohol. And instead of even one glass, I think, I can have even 2 glasses. And also in in sex, it's like more important to get in this nice space of or sexual space, let's say. The fun is that it's very normal that when you take away this thing that is the habit, so, and it's especially with addiction even more, then there's coming like the substitute, because what's not changing is where does it come from that you have this habit? Why did you develop it from the first place? Why did you get addicted to this? And so with matrix reimprinting, you can dive inside and figure out what's below that. And with my coffee example, it's very interesting that I went inside, and I was really, the first time I was so amazed that it brought me to a situation where I had a very positive association with coffee with my mother. And it was even about when I was a child and I was dressed up, and she was painting me with coffee. And so among maybe others, but I had a very positive memory with the coffee. And when I when I leave the coffee now and I look what's happening in me, I'm looking for this association with the space I feel, also like what I feel with women. And of course, that's my mom in the deep place, but also this positive sensations that I've had. And so by working on these memories that are positive association, and I work with that with matrix reimprinting, I can break through this, not the habit, but where the habit came from in the first place. So by giving this space that this little boy wanted to feel more connection with his mother, by giving that space, then if I have that space inside, it's more easy to leave the coffee. So at the same time, what's happening, because I left the coffee several times. Now I drink also coffee again, because it's very easy to re-fall into taking the habit. Not the first thing in the morning, but one of the first things. So at least that habit that I didn't want to have, I have stopped it. But now I'm working on the addiction, like not to, I like with alcohol that I can take a coffee and not that it's automatically getting next day. Anyway, so I have also my patterns to break through. But so what's nice going inside, you can then have a general better space, so that when you are working on your habit to stop the habit, then the need for that, or that was what was fulfilled by this habit is not there, is already fulfilled. So in my case, the coffee is not an added, not an important ingredient to fill up this space that I already have filled up. It's also in this sense is interesting to see when there is like a something moving inside, like emotion related with separation conflict within me, then I can see directly that I have more, I wish more to drink coffee, and other people may feel more they want to drink alcohol or something else. And this is a habit with addiction element, yeah? But the same works for other habits. There's a reason why you have developed the habit. So if you don't take away the reason why you developed the habit, you will have a struggle. Or you may replace the habit with another negative habit. So interesting to go and dive in. And at the same time that you break your habit, work on where it came from. For example, with EFT or matrix reimprinting. Oh, okay. Enjoy your day.